Okay, I want to welcome everyone to this Advocare Business Training 101. This is going to be the first training in a three-part series. And really what this training is designed to do is just give you all the information that you need to know to build a successful Advocare business. Because what's great about Advocare is we know the products work. You wouldn't be building an Advocare business if you didn't get some results from the products that you used. And we know that the opportunity works. We get a paycheck every single 2 weeks, and we get paid very fairly. But the biggest obstacle for people is, well, okay, how do I talk to people, or how does the business really work? Okay, so we're not going to be going over individual products. This is not a product training. This is strictly business training. If you want more information and gain more knowledge on the products, just go to your Advocare microsite. Click on the product and then click on the product page. There is all the information you need to know on that product there. And when it comes to product, this is just a side note. Remember, your job is not to play Mr. Molecule. Okay? Your job is to share what that product is going to do to people. And don't get into the ingredient debate. That's what the SciMed board is there for. They formulate the products. They know the ingredients. You don't have to. Just get good at plugging in Advocare as a solution for what people need. Okay, that's on the product side and the business side. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into this business training. So who is this business training really for? Well, you guys should know the 4 relationships. And if you don't know, this is something that you really need to write down and get good at. Okay, somebody can be a retail customer, or they can just get the products at a discount. That's great. What this is designed for, this presentation, is for those who want to build a hobby distributorship and those who want to build a truly a higher income business opportunity. And hobby distributor, a couple $100 a month. Business builder, we're talking at least $1,000 or more. For Tanya and I, it was about having freedom. Not having to work a 9 to 5, not having, I was a small business owner, not having that overhead anymore. So we wanted to build this to a high level to where we truly had life on our terms. And we've been able to do that. So what is a hobby distributor? What are those 4 Gs that you saw in the last presentation there, the last slide there? Well, a hobby distributor is someone that's really looking to just make enough money, maybe to pay the grocery bills or pay for gas, games, and even gifts. Okay, so we call those the 4 Gs. So when you're talking to somebody, just ask them, hey, where are you in this? Are you just looking for a little gas money? Or do you want to be able to come home, maybe be a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad, whatever it may be. You have to get good at asking those questions. Which one are you? And then you know how to spend your time and how much time you should be spending with that person. Okay, and know that these levels here, yeah, they represent income, obviously. But truly what these levels represent are lives changed. And that's how I look at it. You can look at it as a hobby distributor, just, getting the 4 Gs, or you can look at it from the perspective of, I want to help as many people as I can improve their health and be able to live life on their terms. Because the reality is we get one life to live. So do you want to be stuck in a 9 to 5 job for the next 50 years before you can retire and hopefully have enough money that's going to last you the rest of your life, and hopefully enough money that makes your life comfortable? I know for me, that's just not what I want. And I know for my friends and family, I don't want that for them either. So I'm doing what I can to show them a different way. And that's really what you have to look at this is. The way that we earn income is by helping other people. So keep that in mind. Anytime, even with all this training that you're about to go through, the key is, how do you help other people get results and make money? And how do you earn money? You help others win. Okay, that's how you do it. Help others win. Whether that is coaching them through a 24-day challenge or coaching them how to coach somebody else on a 24-day challenge. Those are wins, and that is how we get paid in Advocare. It's not just for signing people up. We have to get product out there, and we have to help people make money. So let's look at the characteristics of a successful business builder. Most successful business builders in Advocare, you will notice a trend. They're disgusted with their current circumstances. They truly want change. They have a strong work ethic. That's probably one of the hardest thing and most frustrating things that I've found in Advocare is you have somebody who is truly disgusted with where they're at. They want to change, but they are just lazy. And I will tell you this, you're going to run into those people and you're going to want to pull and tug them along and it's just going to drain you. And you can only do that for so long. So your job as an Advocare distributor is really to work with those who are willing to take a step with you. I tell people, look, you take a step forward, I'm taking a step with you. But I'm not going to keep stepping forward if you're going backwards. Okay, eventually you have to cut those people off. So I always give people a chance, but eventually those people that don't have the work ethic that can make this happen, that won't put me in front of people, I can only do so much. Okay, and that kind of comes to that next point, teachable and coachable. You have to find people who are willing to say, hey, you know what? You know more than me. You've been doing this. I'm going to allow you to teach me. Those are the kind of people that we want on our Advocare team. They also need to be financially motivated. Somebody who is not financially motivated, maybe they're very well off. They may use the products, but they're not going to be out there every day, on the grind talking to people. It's just not what they're motivated to do. You need to look for people that have good character integrity. Somebody who is a people's person. Somebody that people like to be around. That's going to be somebody who they will listen to and can get them moving to that next level. So those are things that you want to look for. And also a now mentality. It's not about, okay, yeah, I want to do this, so I'm going to do it next month. Because we all know what next month means, most likely next year. Okay, you need to get people who say, I want to do this now. What do I need to do? And that's when you immediately book a mixer for them, or you book the next meeting that the two of you are going to sit down and talk more. Hey, somebody with a now mentality, you can't tell them, hey, let's just get together next week and we'll go over it more. No, book it ASAP, because that's going to get them fired up, and that's going to be somebody that you're going to have on your team for a lifetime. So these are the characteristics that we look for when we're looking for a teammate who we know can build this business. And we always talk, well, why Advocare and why now? Look at society. Society needs what we have. We fill a solution for health, and we fill a solution for income. And we have products that work. We have products that fill needs, and our products are consumable. So that leads to a great income opportunity. Because when somebody finishes a box of Spark or a bottle of Catalyst, well, they have to come back to me to get it. Okay, so it helps improve, that extra income stream. So it's going to fill the need for people, whether they're looking to just, pay a few bills or to truly build a sustainable business. And with those consumable products, again, it's just reorders month by month by month. And every month you work your Advocare business, you're adding new people in the pipeline. That's momentum, and that's where your check continues to grow every single month. You just have to talk to more people. And with Advocare, there is amazing growth potential. I know a lot of people say, well, isn't the market saturated? I see it on ESPN, and I see it here and here, and my friend is doing it. I think the market's saturated. Absolutely not. Less than 1% of the population knows about Advocare, has tried Advocare products, or has seen anything Advocare related. Okay, that leaves a huge opportunity for us. And if you just look at the growth of the company over the last 5 years, it's huge. I don't even know what percentage that is, from 90 million to 1 billion, because this year we are projected to hit $1 billion in sales. That is huge. And within about another year, 12 to 16 months, we're going to be opening up in Canada. So a whole new market that is not even available to us right now is going to be opening up. And then we're going to open up other locations overseas. So just imagine if you can start now where you can be in 5 to 10 years. All it takes is for you to say yes Be coachable because the only variable truly is you. Advocare is here to stay. The products work. The opportunity works. Are you willing to work? And of course, we have plenty of resources. We have this basic training that we're doing. There's some product and leadership training on your Advocare microsite. We're also going to be doing some more and have it on our YouTube channel. But make sure you go through your microsite. There's a lot of resources there for you to build your business. And of course, we have our team website, forallchampions.com. There's a lot of great videos on there that you can share with people. But there's also an area that is for team member access only if you scroll to the bottom of the page. And the username and password is right there on the screen. Documents that we use on a regular basis to help us follow up with people, to help us keep track of where people are in the funnel, and to really just help us build our business. It's all there at your fingertips, and it's there for you to use. You don't have to ask us for access. We're giving it to you. Okay, we also have Facebook pages where you can add your friends and family, anybody who joins your team. Give them a shout out. Say, hey, this person just joined. They're going to start the 24-day challenge tomorrow. I just want to give them a warm welcome, or somebody who gets to advisor, put it out there. Get people excited. People want recognition. And that's what those Facebook pages are designed to do. Okay, so let's talk about developing the proper mindset to build a business. Okay, first and foremost, anytime you're building a business like this, this is a voluntary army. You don't have to work Advocare. You can wake up in the morning and do absolutely nothing. And of course, nothing will happen. But if you want success, if you want to make money in Advocare, you need to have a purpose. And this is that burning desire in you, that burning desire that gets you up out of bed in the morning, that allows you to do things that are probably a little uncomfortable. When we started doing mixers at the beginning, that was very uncomfortable for me. I thought it was weird. I thought it was like a, Mary Kay salesman type thing. I didn't like that. But what I found is people would come there, I'd make new friends, and I would help several people improve their health and maybe make some money. That was a good feeling. So, as we continued to do them, I was able to feel more comfortable doing it. But you know what? Our purpose was big enough because I was sick and tired of running that business that we had. It was draining me. I'd wake up 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I wouldn't get home until 9 o'clock. Not only is that draining for me, but it's draining on a relationship. So my purpose was bigger than that uncomfortable feeling that I had. So when you define your purpose, really get as specific as you can be. Where are you now, both physically and financially? If nothing changes, where are you going to be in 3 to 5 years? Okay, and now think ahead. Well, what if you had Advocare and you were able to make an extra $3,000 to $5,000 a month? Where would you be? And then ultimately paint vision for yourself. Where would you like to be in 3 to 5 years if you had a chance to change those circumstances? No, money not an issue. Okay, doesn't matter how much you're making. If you could have your perfect life, what would it look like? Create a vision board. A vision board of all those things that you want in life. Have it in front of you every single day when you wake up in the morning. That's your purpose. That's your reason. And that purpose is going to change your attitude. It's going to get you into action, and it's going to create results. Okay, so the proper mindset is to have a clearly defined purpose. And then set those goals. We just kind of talked about it. Yeah, you're going to use that for your purpose, but we want to make sure you're writing it down on a sheet of paper. What are those things that you want? When do you want it? What are you willing to exchange to get it? For Tanya and I, as we were building our Advocare business to Ruby, well, we got rid of cable because we knew when we got home at night, we were sitting in front of the TV when we should have been on the phone with people. So we got rid of cable. So that's something that you may have to exchange. Maybe you like to golf, every Thursday or so, but those are the only days that you have to be on the phone or to do mixers. Well, maybe you need to give up golf for, maybe a year or so. But here's the thing, you can give up golf for a year to be able to golf wherever and whenever you want because you made that exchange. That's the thing. It's give up a few things now so you can have everything you want later. And as you're writing down your goals, make sure that they are measurable. So there's specific things that you write down. I want to, have 3K in PGV each pay period. You can measure that. That's in your reports. Make sure they're definable and set them within a time frame. That time frame may change. It's perfectly fine. Just have a clearly defined time frame so that you can set those goals and work towards them. I always set a goal and a deadline, and then I kind of work my way back. If I say, okay, I want to have 3 new advisors by the end of the month, how many people do I need to talk to? How many people do I need to enroll as a distributor? And how many of those do I truly believe are going to become an advisor, or can I help get to advisor? So you kind of have to work backwards on it, but that's why it's good to set a time frame and be open to change. Some things life always throws curveballs. That's perfectly fine. Be open to that, but don't allow that to distract you from your goal. If you need to change the time frame, change the time frame, but don't just be like, oh, well, I didn't hit it, so maybe I'll get there. No, rearrange your time frame. It's okay to do that. You have our permission. All right, so let's talk about mastering the fundamentals. There's really 3 things that you have to do. Okay, Advocare takes care of everything: the shipping, the relationship with the endorsers, the sign med board, all that stuff. You don't have to worry about it. Your job is to use the Advocare products correctly and use them every day, even if that's just Spark. Okay, use what you can afford. Spark and M&S is what we recommend as kind of your base, and then anything above and beyond that's up to you. But those are the products that sell the most and will get you the best results. So make sure you're using them correctly and you're using them every day. And then talk to people in your warm market. Okay, that's how we build a business. It's not about cold calling somebody you never met, never knew. We don't do business that way. I personally, if that was the way that Advocare ran, I wouldn't do it because that's weird. You talk to people who are closest to you, so that low-hanging fruit, let them know what it's done for you and where you're going. And we're going to talk about sharing your story. And then follow up. Biggest thing, you've heard the term, the fortune is in the follow-up. It's absolutely right. Once you talk to somebody, whether they say yes or they say no, or maybe not right now, it's all in the follow-up. Follow up with somebody who's on product every couple of days and make sure that they're taking the products the right way and that they're taking them every day. Those people who say, you know what, right now is not the right time, well, make sure you put it in your calendar when you're going to follow up with them again, and just casually bring it up. Say, hey, I know back a few weeks ago it wasn't really time for you, but you said maybe in the future. I just wanted to follow up, kind of see where things were at. That's it. You're not a pushy salesman. Okay, you're just following up with them. And if they say, hey, it's still not a good time, they're like, great. And then carry on a normal conversation. You don't have to get off the phone and be like, well, if they're not going to do it with me, then I don't want to talk to you. Hey, it's not that type of deal. Just casually have a nice conversation with them. By using the products every day, it's going to provide confidence for you to be able to share not only how to take the products, but what the products can do for somebody. It's going to provide your confidence and your credibility. If you're taking the product, people are going to be like, oh, well, I guess I believe you because you've been taking the product, so it makes sense. But then it also provides context for conversation. So as you're talking to somebody, you should be asking more questions than you're actually talking. So you're going to be getting a lot of feedback from people. So being able to know how the products react in your body, the results that you've gotten, how to take them, and then the results of other people as well, that's going to provide you some content through that conversation. Now, sometimes you'll talk to somebody and they're like, look, I tried that and it didn't work for me. Start asking questions. Don't just go into defense mode and be like, oh, well, I haven't heard that before. That's really weird. I got great results, and my friend John, he got great results, and so did Mary and Sally Sue. All these people got great results. I don't know what you did or what happened, but that's just not normal. Don't do that. Okay. Most likely, if the products aren't working for them, they didn't take them correctly, they didn't take them long enough, maybe they weren't staying hydrated, they were backed up so they're not moving waste, or they just have some medical condition. And that's why you have to ask questions. Say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry to hear that. Let me just ask you a few questions. How are you taking the product? You see how they're taking it. How long did you use the products for? If you get a box of M&S and you used it for 3 days and you tell me it didn't work, sorry, you didn't take it long enough to even notice any kind of result. So you can't use that excuse. If someone's not hydrated enough, that can have a lot of issues in the body, including not being able to move waste, but just low energy levels, not feeling very good. A lot of that stuff can happen. And if they're not moving waste, well, they're probably not absorbing the nutrition from what they're putting in their body. So we need to make sure that we're helping them move more waste. So maybe it's just upping their water intake to help get things going. And of course, if they have a medical condition or they're on some kind of medications, that definitely can have an impact on it. So you have to ask those questions to be able to really guide somebody the proper way. So don't ever get defensive. Ask good questions. Okay, so beyond taking the products, obviously we have to talk to people. And like I said earlier, you want to get that low-hanging fruit, which is the people that are closest to you. So any of your close relationships, and one of the big things too that you have to get really good at asking is, oh, by the way, who do you know? And that phrase, oh, by the way, who do you know, is you getting into the people who your friends and family knows. And that's how you can really build a very big Advocare business. It's not by just who you know, it's about who they know. So your natural market is comprised of those who are closest to you and their markets. Some of the, maybe close relationships, like people that you see at work. Okay, so closest would be friends and family, people you see regular basis that really know you well, that you can be yourself. Close relationships are going to be those people at work. Casual relationships, maybe just people that you see on occasion. We call them acquaintances. So that and their markets, and then just people that you meet and in your everyday life. If you're at the grocery store and you're checking out and you see the cashier yawn, well, make a friend, give her or him a spark, and then be, hey, let me give you a call in a day or two, let me see how you feel. So you're going to follow up with them. But that's kind of how it works. Start with those that are closest to you, and then go to the semi-close, then to your casual, your acquaintances, and then just people you happen to run into. Okay, that's your natural market. Do not pick up a phone book and start making calls. That's weird. We don't do that. Okay, this is how we do it. And get good at asking that question, oh, by the way, who do you know? So, talking to people. With your natural market and those who they know, well, here's the best thing to do is build a list. Who do you know that needs to lose weight? Who do you know that needs some energy? Who do you know that works out on a regular basis? Those are going to be great people to talk about the products with. Okay, so there's two things that we do in Advocare. There's retail to recruit. Okay, so those are people who you know definitely could use the products, may or may not be interested in the business, but you just want to get product in their bodies first. So you get them product. And then as they're getting results and you're following up with them, they like it, now you're recruiting them for the business. Okay, and then there's also those who you recruit to retail. Okay, so recruit to retail. That is people who maybe are working crazy hours or they don't like their job, or just somebody who you really like and that you think they would be a really good fit for the business opportunity and you would want to work with them. Okay, so 10 people on that end, with working hard jobs, and then 10 people that you would just really love to work with. And if you don't get 10 for each category, that's fine. That's just a random number. You may have 20, you may have 2. Doesn't matter. Just start working your list. The biggest thing is writing down and working your list, putting it into action. And then just always make sure that you're, being observational, that you're paying attention. Like I mentioned just before, if you're at the grocery store checking out and the cashier's yawning, okay, I'm going to make that observation. And I'm going to just, I may say something funny, be like, haha, I caught that. And, they'll be like, oh, yeah, just, I've been working so long. And we're like, well, hey, look, once we finish up here, I've got something in the car I'm going to bring back to you. You're going to love it. It's going to give you a little pep, and you're going to be good to go for the rest of your shift. Sound good? And of course, you're going to be like, sure. They may ask, what is it? And I'll let them know. But again, you don't get into the ingredients. Just Spark, man. It gives you great mental focus and energy. I have one every single day, and it helps me get through the day. Okay, so that's all you have to do. Talk to people, and talk to people in a way that you're comfortable doing. It's not about having a script. It's about being you. And just using Advocare to fit a problem and be a solution to somebody. So who are those that are most likely to use the products? Of course, people who are attentive to their health. You notice that they're shopping in the healthy food section, or they're, looking for healthier options. Maybe they're taking steps to improve their health. They're willing to enter a process for change, and they understand that it's a lifestyle. They're not looking for a magic pill. People who are looking for a magic pill probably are not going to be attracted to Advocare, because it's not about quick, fast results. It's about smart results and lasting results. Obviously, somebody has to be willing to purchase the products, and willing to learn to use them correctly. So I always set the stage, hey, I'm going to be your coach. You don't pay me to be your coach, but when you buy products, you get me with them. So I just want to make sure that you understand that I'm going to be following up with you, and is that okay? Okay, get them to say yes right up front, so when you call, they know why you're calling. Okay, so those are the people who are most likely to use products. And then the business builders, kind of like we mentioned earlier, they have a desire and a disgust with their current circumstances. They're people of high character and integrity. They are financially motivated. They have a strong work ethic. They are coachable. They have a circle of influence, okay, which means they know some people and those people like them. That's a circle of influence. And they have that sense of urgency, that do it now mentality. Okay, those are the people that we're looking for. So what do you say? Well, you're going to share good things with your friends. Anytime that you're reaching out to somebody about Advocare, don't try and BS them at the beginning, and talk about life and ask them questions about their life and all that. Let them know, hey, I'm calling you for a specific reason. I got amazing results. You share your story, and I thought of you because of XYZ. Okay, that's all we do. And make sure you're smiling. There's nothing better than somebody who's talking to you and they're smiling, because you can't help but smile either and feel better about yourself. Always be genuine and polite. Love people where they are. If they say no, typically that just means not right now, or you didn't prove that this is something that is really going to help me, and that's okay. You continue to do what you're doing, because down the road they may come back around and they'll say, hey, you know what, I see you've been doing this for a while now. I'm really interested. So what was it again that you were talking about? Okay, identify a point of connection. So this is maybe with somebody that you don't know as well. Maybe it is a friend of a friend. And try and find something that the two of you have in common. So you have that point of connection, and then build on that. And always be enthusiastic and confident. Okay, even if you're really not sure what you're talking about, fake it till you make it. Okay, be enthusiastic. But if a question comes up that you don't know, do not answer it with something that you just kind of came up with. All right, because you may be very wrong. Make sure you and confidence is here, okay? Somebody asked me a question, I don't know. Confidence says this, hey, you know what, John? I really don't know that answer, but I tell you what, I'll find it out for you, and the next time we chat, I'll have an answer for you. Is that cool? Who's going to say, no, dude, you're an idiot. If you don't know that answer, I'm done. No one's going to say that. They're going to respect that you were confident enough to say, I don't know, but I will find out for you. Okay? And probably the most important thing is how you feel about what you say. You have to feel good about it. Like, I truly know that people are better with Advocare products in their body than without. I truly believe that. And it comes out when I'm talking to somebody. And I truly believe our opportunity is unlike anything out there that can truly set people free. I believe that. And it comes out. So you have to truly believe what you're saying to people. Otherwise, it's going to come through as you're talking to them. Okay, so make sure anything that you say you truly believe in. Okay, don't fake that part. Okay, we use that thing, fake it till you make it, but not when you're talking to people and you're trying to find a solution for them. You really need to believe that Advocare is that solution for them. Okay, so let's talk about your product story. This is, one of the, if we had a list of the top 3 important things, this is definitely on that list. Because when somebody says, hey, what's Advocare? The last thing you want to be is deer in the headlights. Okay, your product story is what is going to carry you through that conversation. So your product story is comprised of 6 parts. Okay, 1 is where you were, then what you saw or what you heard, what you did, the results you got, maybe a few other benefits if you had some. That one is optional. And then you ask a question. So for me, I was working 14, 15 plus hours a day. I was tired, kind of fed up with working so much. My buddy shared a spark with me, and I got more done in those 3 hours that I had that spark than I had got done that whole week, and I felt great. So I took a program called the 24-Day Challenge. I lost 3% body fat, gained almost 2 pounds of muscle. I have more energy than I've ever had. And, because of that, I decided to start sharing it with a few people. Our first month, we made about $800. And then just this last month, we made $12,000. And we're on track to double that by the end of this year. Could you see yourself doing this? Or, does any of this interest you? Bam, that's it. So what is Advocare? It's a great nutritional company. I got these results. These are the benefits that I got, and would you be interested in hearing more? That's kind of the way that it goes. And while I shared that story, and that was just kind of, obviously I've shared my story a lot. It changes as we grow in this business, but the key is to just share your story in a nice, concise way in a short period of time. This is not a half-hour conversation. This is elevator speech, 30 seconds, maximum 2 minutes. Okay, you just want to see if that interests them at all, and then you can move it to the next thing. One caution though is don't use any Advo lingo. Okay, so you didn't hear me refer to the term distributor, advisor, upline sponsor, leader. I didn't say my sponsor Matt Warren introduced me to Spark and shared the opportunity with me, so I signed up as a distributor. I went straight to advisor, and we are now at the Emerald level. Okay, somebody who doesn't know anything about Advocare doesn't know what any of that stuff is, and it's going to sound weird. So don't use that. Matt's my friend, so I said, look, my buddy Matt introduced me to a product called Spark. Got great energy off it. Started looking at some of the other things. I did a program called the 24-Day Challenge. Here are the results I got. That's all you're going to do. Okay, and then from there, it's either, hey, you know what, that sounds great. Yeah, I'd be interested in that 24-Day Challenge. I need some results like that. Or yes, tell me more. And then the next thing that you say is, great. Here's what we do next. Let me get you on the phone with my buddy, Matt. He's the one that helped me. He's going to help you as well. and he'll be able to answer some of your questions too, because I'm fairly new at this. So would tomorrow at 3 o'clock work for you to do a quick call? Okay, it's not, hey, I want to do a three-way call with my sponsor. Okay, don't use the term three-way call. Don't use the term, oh, my friend. Okay, now your income story is pretty much the same thing. So ideally, you can have a separate product story, a separate income story, and then a combined story. I always combine mine no matter what. Okay, because that way at least I'm planting that seed. They may only be interested in product, but at least I let them know that, hey, there is an opportunity there. But somebody may ask you, hey, how much are you earning? So same thing, where I was, what I saw, how quickly I got to advisor, how much I've earned to date, and even if it's only $100 or a couple $100, do not be scared to share that, because a couple $100 for a lot of people can help prevent them falling into bankruptcy. Okay, it can pay several bills and make life easier for them. Okay, but also paint vision. This is how much I've earned, but by the end of the year, I'm going to be earning, $5,000. Okay, paint vision, and then again, ask a question. Now, one thing that Charlie Regis has always said, and hopefully you know Charlie Regis, the founder of the company, he's always said, look, if it's not necessary to say, it's necessary not to say it. So, for example, let's say I got into the business 5 years ago, and for the first year, I really didn't do a whole lot with it. I used a few products, then I stopped for about a year and a half, and then I got back into it, and I made, maybe $200, and then I kind of stopped again. But now I'm back on it, and just this month I made $1,000. Okay, all that backstory stuff, not necessary to say. Okay, what's necessary is this is where I was. I was fed up with my job, decided to say yes to Advocare, and now I'm making $1,000 a month. Okay, that's the necessary part. So any of that fluff, any stuff that kind of has a negative connotation to it, it's not necessary to say. And it's not that you're lying or you're trying to hide stuff, but you want to get people excited. And that kind of stuff is just not going to excite somebody. And that was maybe your experience. It's not necessarily going to be theirs. But you can implant that in their mind. They're like, oh, well, he's kind of been in and out it all the time. Maybe this thing really doesn't work. Okay, so you just want to leave those things out. All right. As far as your product story and your income story, write them out and rehearse them. Okay, don't wait until somebody says, hey, what's Advocare, to start putting it together in your head. Do it now, and this is kind of your homework for this lesson, is write out your two versions. Okay, your income and your product story, and then also a combined version. So technically there should be 3 stories, and you want to do a 30-second one and then a 2 to 3 minute one. Okay, and the reason you want to do the 2 separate ones, a shorter one and then a longer one, is you truly may just be in an elevator with somebody and they ask you what's Advocare because you're wearing the shirt. You only have maybe 30 seconds to share what Advocare is. Okay, whereas if you're at a party or something and somebody asks you, well, you have a little bit more time, so you can elaborate a little bit. Okay, but always make sure that you end with a question. So take time to master your story, because truly your story is what's going to pay you for life. Okay, so be very diligent in writing out your product and your income story and rehearse it, whether it's you just rehearsing it by yourself or you're rehearsing it with your significant other. Make sure you're doing that. And then follow up. Make sure you're setting the expectation with your product users, and even those in the business. Let them know, look, my job's to help you get the results that you want, so I'm going to be in touch with you, and I'm going to be in touch with you regularly because I want to see you succeed. So what days are best to call you? Okay, not what days are best to text you or what days are best to email you. What days are best to call you? Okay, try and get them on the phone so you can. It's so much easier than going back and forth with text messages, because you should be asking questions where they're going to have a little bit longer of a response. Hey, what'd you eat today? Hey, they don't need to be typing that stuff out. And then as far as your contact, now there is a document that is on our Facebook group page. If somebody's taken like the 24-day challenge, tells you exactly what days to follow up with them and what you should ask. Okay, but generally it's the first, third, seventh, and 10th days during the cleanse, and then about every 3 to 4 days after that. And keep the conversation short. That's the thing. These calls, following up, should be about a 5-minute call, if that. You're asking a few questions, be like, great, man, I just wanted to check in, keep it up. Do you have any other questions? No? Great. I'll call you in 3 days. That's it. Okay? Doesn't have to be a 30-minute conversation. We're all busy, and this is your discretionary time. You don't want to take it up with one call. Okay? You can fit in several calls in a half hour and be done with your follow-ups. Okay? But just remember this, the fortune is in the follow-up. If you're not doing the follow-ups, you're not making the money. I can promise you that. Okay, and then for those who respond to the business, the 5 key factors to talk about. How much income do you want to make? Realistically, how much time can you set aside to build an Advocare business? I want you to know this is not just about you, this is a team approach, so I'm going to be helping you. We need to talk to people, and let's get something booked right now. Okay, so those are the 5 key factors. The target income is there because you want to have an idea of what they need to achieve. If they need to achieve, $3,000 to $4,000 a month, well, that's about the gold level. Okay, gold, the gold 3-star. You have a goal. There you go. How much time do they have to get them there? Okay, that's going to help you decide how much time you can spend with them and what maybe homework to give them, how many mixers to set up, how many calls. All that's going to really help you to be able to not only make your time more efficient, but to help them get the results that they're looking for and in a way that they're comfortable with. Letting them know that this is a team approach. I don't want you doing this on your own. I want you to work with me. Sets the expectation. So they understand that if they have somebody, they're getting you in on the phone with them or meeting in person. Obviously, they're going to understand that they need to talk to people, and you're going to have some things set up on the calendar, and that's going to set that sense of urgency. Okay, but your goal is not to spill the beans and just kind of go all out on how to build an Advocare business. Really, it's pulling these things from them and then just starting with the basics, getting them on product, helping them get others on product and getting results, and moving them through the pipeline. Okay, so the goal is to find out what they want and then get your prospect on the phone with the sponsor. So when you're sitting down with somebody and you're figuring these things out, now it's great. I absolutely understand where you're coming from with your income. We can do it. That level is actually called 3-star gold, and we can get you there. We were there. And so if we can do it, you definitely can as well. But here's what I'd like to do now. Let's get on the phone with my buddy Matt. He's the one helping me. He's going to help you too. Okay, that's it. It is not, hey, would you mind getting on the phone with my buddy? Or, let's do a 3-way call. Don't do any of that. This is what we do next. If you want to make this kind of income, you have this much time available, you understand it's a team approach, well, Matt's part of my team and part of your team. So we need to do this together. And I told you we're going to be talking to people, not just you talking to somebody, but us talking to people. So you set the expectations, and now it's time to get your sponsor on the phone. And of course, that leads to the success system. And this is kind of where we're going to wind things down, okay? Fortune is in the follow-up. Once you talk to somebody, you share your story, you get a yes, and then you ask those follow-up questions. How much income do you want to earn? How much time do you have? All those things we just talked about. Now it's time to get them. So you went from a one-on-one. Now you're moving to a 2-on-1 or a 3-way call with your sponsor. Next step is to get them to a larger event, so a mixer, so just an in-home mixer. And then if in your area there are larger events, like we just had one a week ago when one of the doctors on the side med board came to Columbus, Ohio and spoke. That's a larger event. Okay, get them to that so that they see more, and then get them to Success School. Okay, and this process just continues to repeat itself over and over again. And if you could get good at doing this, this is called duplication. Okay, so if you do this, your team is going to see you doing it, and guess what they're going to do? They're going to do the same thing. That's going to be success. Okay, so your homework for this lesson is to put together your story, practice it. Make sure you do a business, a product, and then a combined story, a 30-second one and a 3-minute one. It's not going to take a lot of time, okay, but it's definitely necessary. Okay, and go back through this presentation if you missed anything. Scroll through, write down some notes, but revisit it and share it with your team as well. And of course, if you have any questions, reach out to your sponsor. They can definitely help you. And the next training that we're going to do on this is actually going to be on the success system. So we're going to go into more detail on how to do a 2-on-1 meeting or 3-way call, how to do your mixers, how to invite people to larger events. That's what we're going to discuss on the next presentation. So I appreciate your time. I hope this was helpful, and look forward to seeing you all grow. We'll talk to you soon.